Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back, and today is a sad day. We are back with another domain from the Identity Anchor Standards, and today's a sad day. Today is our last identity domain. But we can't just simply toss identity to the side and think that we're never going to come back to it, because identity should be talked about throughout the year. It should be expressed, and dialogue should be around this absolutely every single day. Get it? Got it? Good. But today we are about to get really serious. It is about to go down. Now, I mean, honestly, this last one might make you feel a little bit uncomfortable, and if it does, good. Today we will look at students will understand and recognize the dominant culture, their homes and culture and other cultures, and understand how they negotiate their own cultures in multiple spaces. Now, just for starters, this domain does not have to be a mouthful. It can be as technical or as complicated as you want it to be, but it is extremely important that we are teaching and allowing students to have dialogue around what is dominant and what is dominant cultures. While I'm looking at many of these identity standards, one of the things I love to do with students is have them inquire into what do these big words mean. And I think dominant is one of those words that students need to dissect on their own teacher guidance. It can be so powerful, so powerful. So let's start off by breaking down some of the words in the Let's start off by breaking down some of the words specifically in the domain, and then seeing how we can dissect it a little bit so we understand what it means in the classroom. Now, the first thing I notice is that it says we need to recognize. So recognize means that we need to identify, we need to observe, we need to see. So that's what we need to do when it talks about recognizing. We need to see. We need to put our glasses on. We need to open up our eyes. We need to see it. Whoa. It's a message from my wife. I'll be right back. And we need to see. So recognizing and understanding. That's what we need to do, y'all. And recognizing isn't just for students. This is something that adults need to do as well. Sometimes we are very blinded by the things we see out in culture. Sometimes us as adults are very blind as well. So this lesson is not just for students. We can learn as adults. Now, next we want to look at traits of the dominant culture. Now, when we think about dominant, we think about power, we think about structures, we think about strong statues, we think about people who are able to influence, people who are able to do things without really asking many questions. That's my thought. Now, this could mean a lot of different things for a lot of people. Now, I'm Canadian. Did I say that out loud? I'm sorry. Not sorry. Now, dominant means control of a specific group, culture, political views, social and economic ideas, shifts and change. Can also refer to language and religion and rituals, or even social values and customs. Now, I repeat, depending on where you are from and where you are located, all of these things in regards to dominant culture are going to look very, very different. We can look at it as a large scale in regards to countries, in regards to world. We can look at it in a small scale in regards to classrooms, teams, communities, etc. All of these spaces have dominant cultures. We just need to dissect them and figure them out to understand them a little bit better. Now, the obvious dominant culture is white, for lack of a better word, European. According to research, it's middle class, it's Protestant, and people of European descent. And for a more technical term, it basically just means that they hold more positions of power than any other race or culture. And for students to understand this, I think it's important that we look at our school systems or our classrooms and we dissect that first. And starting on a small scale and then going a little bit bigger in regards to our outside community, our country, our world. Students need to start slow. We can't just push them into ideas or thoughts that they are not ready for. Don't do that. It's not nice. One of the things I think that are extremely important, specifically in my case, because if you didn't know, and if you don't know,
And if you don't know,
I teach in an American school in Singapore. What do you think the dominant culture is? Now, I also think that it is important that when we're talking about dominant culture, that we talk about language. What do you think the dominant language is in the American school? Exactly, English. English is also a dominant culture, and sometimes it's not the case. And sometimes in other countries that is not the case. But specifically in our school, English is the dominant culture. I think when we talk about this, we need to ask students, why is it the way that it is? Why is English the dominant culture? What role does it play in our school systems? What roles does it play within power or systems or institutions? Now here's a question you can ask yourself. How do you negotiate these cultures in different spaces? It's a tricky question, but it's definitely worth exploring with students. This domain is jam-packed and needs to be circled. It needs to be looped. It needs to be consistently talked about daily, regularly, so students understand their culture, how it affects other cultures, and what culture and dominance mean when they are together. No idea if that makes sense, but I hope you get my point. That's it for this week. I hope I was able to explain what domain is actually about for you. Until next time, I'll see you next week. Peace.